Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently ready to deploy. So let's take a look at the command center. We know that the last couple of missions have been pretty easy, but RogueTech is extremely variable in how difficult each mission is. So I don't want to get too overconfident at this point and just jump straight into like Operation Purge here. That's probably not a good idea. We'll keep it a little bit. We'll keep going down the line for the moment. We know that we're going to have a second medium mech ready to go for this, though. So we could definitely do like this blackout mission. That's a reasonable one to go for, I think. It is technically not the highest pay. This one's slightly higher pay. Comstar is the op for. I would really rather not do that. Comstar is the op for here as well. So again, I'd rather not fight Comstar. We could go for, like, this versus Leering Commonwealth one. It's an ambush convoy mission. Target acquisition is spicy, and I would prefer not to do target acquisition right now. Defend base is potentially an interesting one. I don't know who the op for here is. We could potentially do this. Planetary government. That seems okay. Do we have a free priority salvage here? We actually do, so we can sit right here, still get a decent payout, and get 521 salvage. Let's do it. Let's absolutely do this. So I think that we drop the fireball here. I think there's absolutely no reason to bring the fireball. It is not a particularly great mech. We're going to drop GV for now, and we can bring our Apollo instead. And of course, T-Bone, who is our Apollo pilot. So that'll be absolutely fine for the moment. I think we just deploy this as is. We're good to go. We're going to be deploying about 200 tons. This is by far the highest capability mission, like the highest capability team that we have deployed. Squad? I mean, it's not really a lance. It's like an augmented lance, right? But it looks like it might require more firepower than that. Now, this is a defend base mission, so we will have more firepower here. We likely will have turrets on our side, plus a couple of vehicles. I think we're going to give it a go. Darius thinks this is going to be hard. The last couple of missions haven't been, and this is the strongest lance that we've deployed thus far. I'm going to give it a go. We'll see how it feels. Darius is often wrong. Darius is usually wrong. So we're going to ignore Darius here. Like, Darius is always wrong until Darius is not wrong, is the way that this works. And when Darius isn't wrong, you should have listened to Darius. But when Darius is wrong, which is most of the time, never listen to Darius. That's how this works. Whether you should have listened to Darius or not is governed entirely by hindsight. So that's good to know. As usual, this is going to be a long loading time. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Okay, so here we are fully loaded up. According to Darius here, who we maybe shouldn't listen to, there are no static weapon emplacements on this facility, but there may be VTOL assets. I can hear one. So we're going to begin this mission. Let's hop on in and we'll see how this goes. It could be really spicy, or it might not. It's hard to say. Our contracted mission is indeed to defend this factory. Yep. So we have to hold them off for some amount of time. Heavy rain. Yes, I can see that. We have a patrol of friendlies coming in. They are conducting test flights in the AO. Okay. So the Vanguard is going to be here. The best we can deploy is like off over here. Okay. That'll do for now. We'll deploy up over here. That'll be okay. So we'll just confirm that. Beautiful. Okay. So Phase 24 here. Who do we have moving? That is actually quite a lot of helicopters. So these are Steiner units. Are these local government units here? Okay, well, our Centaur moves. We know that they... Okay, these are the enemy units out over here. So what I'm guessing is we've got these Steiner units here that need to make their way to here before these activate. This looks okay, though. We've got a Shadowhawk, a Gladiator, okay, and we've got a Clint and another Gladiator. that could be potentially spicy. For the moment, we're going to sprint our way over here and look to begin engaging them as soon as possible. So we'll see where our allies end up going here, what they end up doing. We're under spawn protection right now. And I wonder how this rain is going to affect the resulting recording. I wonder if we can turn it off if necessary. Compression is probably going to have a bit of a hard time with this rain. So we'll see about that. Maybe we can turn it off, or at least make it more subtle. I don't think so. I don't recall seeing anything in here about, like, weather effects. Yeah. Okay. Maybe there's something in the RogueTech setup options for it that I missed. I'll take a look at that if this is a problem.
Understood.
But it'll be hard to tell until it gets actually live. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's not too bad. So these helicopters are doing a lot of moving. Yeah, this is a neutral helicopter turn here. So our scimitar is going to try to move out of these trees. Of course, scimitars don't have the easiest time moving amongst the trees. So the Clint is coming up over here. These cavalries are moving around. Yeah, lots of stuff going on here. Nothing too important until next round. We're just going to continue closing in with the Vanguard over here. Now, to be clear, there will be more enemies. This is just the Vanguard. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also noticing that the rain doesn't keep up with the camera. As we're moving around here, the rain takes a moment to catch up. That's interesting. That's definitely very interesting. So the rain is like very localized around the camera. Cool. Okay, so that swift wind almost made it to the escort zone. Next up is going to be our fire starter, and we're going to head on out over this direction. There we go. Cool. And our cavalry is, or rather our friend's cavalry is moving up over here. That's a Karnov. Interesting. And then this gladiator moves up, and we're very, very close now to getting into phase 2, or rather round 2. Technically, we're in round 2 right now, but we're going to lose spawn protection is what I'm trying to say. So that gladiator moves up there. Cobra Transport Original moves up. So what does that Cobra have? Just a medium laser? Okay, noted. So we no longer have spawn protection. Odd that this isn't in trees here. Do we have LOS here? We actually do. We could start firing immediately on this Clint. It would be about 30% hit chance. If we were to close in here, it would increase to 42. We don't have a lot of protection here, but we can definitely lower the armor on this Clint somewhat.
Confirmed.
So that seems reasonably okay. Actually, that was a structure exposure on that Clint there. That's pretty good. I like it. So, what are we waiting on here? This is going to be one of these helicopters moving. Maybe the neutral one? No, it's allied turn. So it's going to be one of these over here. It could be this Harris Hawk, but it's actually the Savannah Master. Okay, the VTOL assets are now preparing to engage the enemy. So all of these are now on our side. That's excellent. Our Centaur could actually make its way in over here, which I think is an interesting sort of position to go for. If we were to go here, the Centaur would likely take a lot of fire from all of them. Alternatively, we could simply reserve it. And that's what I'm going to do.
I'm holding action.
We're going to reserve for now, and we'll let these guys start to move a bit first. And I'd really like to see this Clint take some heavy VTOL fire here. And ideally have that Clint eliminated. That is ideal. We'll see if it actually happens. Harris Hawk is going to move back a bit and not fire. That's not helpful. And of course, it takes the AI a little bit to calculate all of these because there's so many places that a VTOL can move. This pack rat's going to move up and do absolutely nothing. Okay, not helpful. What else do we have here? Well, it is going to be that Vespa, and that fires a breaching shot on this Gladiator. It does hit with the large laser, so that's 40 damage. Not bad. Next up, this Clint is going to move, and that is potentially going to open up an opportunity for us. Let's see where it goes. Because right now, it's difficult to get to the Clint. It falls back. Okay.
What do you need?
That's fair enough. We could park the trebuchet up over here, or alternatively up here. I'm looking for a clear LOS, ideally. But we've got blocked LOS in all of these locations. Very, very low hit odds there on everything. So the trebuchet is probably not actually going to fire here. I think we're going to move up to here. Maybe we lob at the Clint. 12.5% on this gladiator. I guess we'll roll this.
Locked on target.
About 20 damage in there. That's not too bad. That could have been a lot worse. So let's see what the gladiators do here. They are going to be moving in this round, and we have a fair amount that we can still move in. What is this indicating? That's different. I don't recall one of those indicators coming up before. Okay, so they're firing on these buildings. Sure. I mean, if they take one of them down, we do lose a bonus, but that's okay. We can lose up to 3 of them, but if all of them survive, we get a bonus. Which is absolutely fine. I don't recall seeing this in this type of mission before, unless it's like an airstrike, but it doesn't look like an airstrike. But not much coming from those missiles there. This cavalry is firing at this Shadowhawk, and it gets 20 damage dealt. It's not terrible. It's something. Okay. We've got a lot of VTOLs here, and they do take a little while to figure out what they want to do, which is sad. Okay, so now we've got the Gladiator off over here. It is calculating and using a lot of processing power to do that, but it'll figure out where it wants to go here in a moment. What do you got? Okay, so it's firing on our Apollo, and it got like 15 damage in on the Apollo. I am deeply unconcerned about that. So that's absolutely fine. Next up is going to be a couple of helicopters. There are a lot of helicopters. There's no doubt about that. This thing is just inundated with VTOLs right now. So the Saladin moves up. That's actually a Saladin firing. And then this Karnov transport firing on the Shadowhawk and getting almost nothing done there. Now, our Scimitar could position here and potshot its AC-5 out at these Gladiators. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this Gladiator is the one to shoot at 48%. We do miss, but that's reasonably expected.
I need a calibration on my targeting system.
You do indeed, yes. You need a calibration on your targeting system indeed. So something happened over here. A reinforcement pod dropped. Okay, what is here? There's something here now, and I don't know what. It's an ally turn at the moment. Okay. Sure. So, yeah, there's a drop pod there now. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move our Centaur in over this direction. We'll be in cover. 10 evasive. I would really like to get in LOS of that Clint. Alternatively, maybe we make our way around over this direction. I really don't like being in marsh there or in rough terrain. So we could position somewhere like... Yeah, all of these positions are kind of bad. We could position here, though, and fire on the Shadowhawk. Hit odds aren't going to be great, but we're looking at getting a flanking position here. And we can just pot shot it for now. Maybe we get that leg blown off or something. I don't know. A little bit of damage in on its front arc there. Not too much, but we really don't expect a lot of damage there. So that's absolutely fine. No problem there. There's so many VTOLs here. Vespa moves up and does absolutely nothing. Our fire starter is going to head over this direction. Now, that's out of range of the flamers. But it's going to position here for now. And we're going to fire on this gladiator.
Copy that.
And miss absolutely everything. Beautiful. Okay.
Failed to connect.
Indeed you did. So next up, we'll see what another one of these helicopters does. There's roughly 1 billion of them. And honestly, I feel like the local government didn't really know what was coming. So this yellow jacket is not going to do anything useful. Okay.
I'm here.
Now, our Apollo is in a good spot right now. I would like it to get direct LOS on that Clint. Out of curiosity, yeah, we're really blocked by this rock right now. I think that we do absolutely fire on one of these gladiators. Which one? This one. So we're going to hit it, and we're going to do a good amount of damage here. Indeed. Nice armor reduction there. We don't have any evasive on our Apollo right now. No defenses whatsoever on the Apollo. So it's kind of a juicy target. And that's honestly the goal. We want it to be a bit of a juicy target. So we've got a UAV coming in here, firing on that Shadowhawk from way above. So I guess that's what this was a UAV? Because I didn't see that previously. And all it's got is the BA Rocket 5. So it fired all of its shots on that guy. Okay. We could definitely come in on our Centaur here and look at a flanking position here. So we could position here and be in rear arc of the Shadowhawk. A lot of nice evasive here. And we have good hit odds on this rear arc. Now it's got mediocre rear armor, but it's a lot weaker than its frontal armor.
Triggering an alpha strike.
Structure exposure, foot destroyed, hip destroyed. It is unsteady, but that Shadowhawk's going to move very soon. We do have a bunch of VTOLs that are going to move between now and when the Shadowhawk does so. So with any luck, they're going to look at this and be like, that is a huge weakness. We can exploit that. Because that's what they should be doing. We'll see what they end up coming up with. This is a lot of VTOLs. And honestly, I kind of wish it was fewer VTOLs, or that we had control of them. Because there's a lot of just watching the AI beat up on each other right now. Or not even beat up on each other, because the planetary government isn't really firing back at this moment. For now, this cavalry tag moves back and does literally nothing. Okay. So the Steiner helicopters really haven't been very helpful, if I'm honest. We'll see what else they come up with, but so far we've been doing all the work. Now this Clint has a structure exposure on it. The gladiators are somewhat weakened. This Vespa moves up, but I don't think it actually does anything useful at all. They're just not firing. You've got a large laser. Why not shoot the large laser? Yellow Jacket moves up, does nothing at all. Okay. So I guess the Steiners just don't want to waste coolant on us? I don't know. The Steiners are kind of being weird. No doubt about that, but that's normal for Steiners. So this cavalry moves up and fires on that Shadowhawk. Takes out the lower leg. It also gets a head hit there. Okay. So I want to take our Trebuchet up over this direction. I would absolutely love to get a knockdown on that Shadowhawk. This is a reasonable position to go to. Yes, it's obstructed LOS, but we could easily get a knockdown on the Shadowhawk. And that's exactly what happens. So that's going to be another pilot injury there. So he's now at 1 of 3 health and knocked down. That delays him back, and hopefully the AI is going to look at that and be like, well, this is just free at this point. But I'm not sure that the AI is going to be thinking that. The Vespa moves up and fires on the Gladiator. It does get a solid structure exposure there, though. Yeah, we'll take that. I mean, we can definitely make use of that. We're going to move our fire starter before this Gladiator can respond, so that sounds good. We'll see what else the helicopters decide to do. For now, It's not been a lot. This gladiator backs off and fires at our Apollo. That is deeply unsurprising, but it doesn't do a lot of damage.
Light damage,
Our
Commander.
Apollo was bait, so that's completely okay. Them taking the bait is fine. This gladiator... Actually, hang on. Did this guy eject or something? I'm no longer seeing this guy here. He was at 1 HP. I did not notice him eject, but he might have. He might have panicked and ejected.
Commander.
So the fire starter can move in off over this direction. I think this is a reasonable place to be. We're only going to have 4 evasive, but we will be in cover. And we can take a really solid internal shot at this gladiator and take out its arm.
Engaging.
In addition, we can set some fires over here, bump its heat up.
Scored a critical hit.
Phenomenal. So that's the arm out of there. The Savannah Master closes in, but it's out of range of really doing anything useful. The Sprint moves up and fires on the intact gladiator, or relatively intact gladiator. The Karnov Transport moves up and fires its machine guns on this gladiator, which is a good choice, but it doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, this mech over here is gone. Okay. I totally missed his ejection, but we'll take it. That's absolutely great. So that, of course, means that our Centaur can continue to move in this direction. So next is going to be the gladiator backing up out of the fire. And it's going to fire at the Harris Hawk. That's fine. No problem whatsoever
Yes,
there.
Commander.
So now it's going to be our Scimitar. The Scimitar does actually get a shot on the gladiator here. Yes, we'll take this position.
Confirmed.
So we'll fire this shot. We don't get much in there, 7 damage, but we get something in. The Scimitar is a long ways away, so that's not shocking. They've backed off. They did not expect this sort of an onslaught, that's for sure. So, what are they going to do with their Clint? That's the question here. The Clint already has a structure exposure in its front arc. The Clint is in serious trouble. So what's your plan? Backing off? Yeah, he's running away. Firing on the Karnov? That's okay. No problem there. We're assuming there's going to be another lance, by the way. Okay, they're firing on the gladiator, but they miss. That's okay. We're going to continue to close in here with our cavalry units. And the question is, just how much can we get done with them? So I'd love to get in behind these mechs with our Centaur. This is a potentially interesting option, getting in behind this gladiator. We also have, as a backup, firing at the Clint, but behind this gladiator is great. It has weak rear armor, and let's see what we get done here. We could kill it with this shot.
Here we go.
Structure exposure in the rear, and yeah, that was a lot of damage, but it was pretty spread out over that. The UAV moves up. Of course, at this point, it's just an observation platform, and we can move in with our fire starter here and attack the stricken gladiator if we wanted. But what I really want to do is get in over here. Now, this is in rough terrain. I don't love this positioning. We might be better off jumping, actually. Yes. I'm going to jump to here, with the idea being we can fire on the gladiator, and this is going to be on its side arc, or we can fire on the Clint, and this is going to be, is this its weak side? This is its weak side. Okay, I'm going to avoid firing these 2 flamers, as well as 1 medium laser, I think. We built up a lot of heat with that jump, and let's see what we can get done in this torso, ideally.
Firing.
Okay, we did get a little bit of damage in there. It's not perfect. We didn't take out that torso, but it'll do for now. We've got some VTOLs moving in, and hopefully they attack this gladiator. That would be the... Actually, this gladiator might be a little bit better from the front arc. Yes. So hopefully they attack this gladiator. We'll see what they do. For now, absolutely
I'm ready.
nothing. Now we've got our Apollo here, and it has actually LOS on this gladiator. I would prefer LOS on another one, or uninterrupted LOS. We could simply move here where we have cover
Moving
and some
position.
evasive, and we have the same amount of, roughly the same amount of hit odds here. I think it's a little lower,
Firing.
but it's a better position, and we can take advantage of that later. We at least get the evasive gone from that gladiator. So that looks good. Let's see what happens with the VTOLs. But it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue this mission. And there might be some VTOL movements in between episodes. If there are, I will update you on what exactly happened there. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. What do we got going on here? We're firing on this gladiator. Okay, we got a little bit of damage in there. Sounds good. Actually, I'm not going to do this just yet. We've got an enemy turn here. That is going to be the Clint? Yes, that's going to be the Clint. Okay. Soon enough, we'll get to one of our units, but that'll be in a bit. That'll definitely be in a bit. We're phase 9. So this Clint is going to move back and fire on this Vespa. Completely okay. We don't care about the Vespa. Okay, now we've got some of these going. And I think if I pause this, it's going to continue in the background. This doesn't actually pause it, so... You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. We're firing on this gladiator. Awkward timing. Okay. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. So far, nothing in particular has happened.